We are the Three Count Podcast, and you can't teach that. I'm your host, Dylan Chambers, as always, with my co-host, Ben Hobden. And guess what, Benny? We're free.
Free, finally. Out of lockdown. You're looking good. I'm not so much, mate. I still haven't got there.
Well, you know, you've been busy, you know, down at the Orient, back to work. How's work going, mate?
Mate, it's getting there. We're understaffed, busy, but stressful. And, you know, we love it. We get through. We punch through. So come on down to the Orient and have a beer. Hey,
if you want a job in a bar, head down to see Ben at the Orient. He's got plenty of jobs going.
Hit me up on the socials.
Go help him out. Yeah. So we got a great show for you today. We're going to go through the Crown Jewel card. We're going to look at all the happenings in AEW. There's been plenty, all the latest news. And don't miss later in the show, we're going to have another 3-count draft. And this one's going to be a fun one.
Tough.
It's going to be a tough one. Benny and I are going to draft a card as if we're putting on an epic WWE Saudi Arabia show. Money will be no object. So look out for that one later in the show. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, hit that follow button. Benny, let's get into the news. What is on your radar?
Mate, Big E. He was at the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight. Gave him all the intros. That was good to see. I thought he was only going to do the Wilder one, and then obviously did both. So he good to see him getting out there, getting his name out there and being the champ.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, like you said, he did the Wilder one to start with, and I thought that would be it. Then he did the Fury one. So he was obviously part of the broadcast coverage. But yeah, great to see him getting his face out there, getting to be known as WWE champion. It's good stuff for Big E.
Yeah, and he got a good pop and everything as well. I think the crowd loved it. Everybody was really into it.
Oh, yeah, and
when I seen him come on the TV, I was like, boom, yes, this is sick. So
I was like, honey, that's Big E. And dropped a couple of New Day lines in all the promos too. So that was good stuff.
Good to see. Yeah, definitely.
What did you think of the fight?
Oh, mate, brilliant. One of the best heavyweight fights I've ever seen. Very, very happy that Fury won, but got him with that little 3-piece at the end. Down goes Wilder. It was brilliant.
As was I gamble responsibly, but I did have money on Tyson Fury to win. Just a little tipple, nothing too crazy, but it was incredible. You know, it just went back and forth, and you know, Fury was going down, then Wilder was going down, Fury was going down, and yeah, incredible.
So many knockdowns, like it was just crazy.
Incredible slugfest. Fury went down twice in one round.
Yeah. Crazy. One more time and the fight's over.
Yeah.
So it's
incredible stuff.
It's weird.
A slugfest. And as we often say, do yourself a favor and go and watch it if you haven't seen it, because it was incredible.
Definitely. Yeah, it was an amazing fight. Now, Gable Stevenson.
Yeah, speaking of kind of real
debuting in WrestleMania 38.
Speaking of real athletes, yeah, WrestleMania 38, possible in-ring debut. So too soon?
I think so, but he's got a lot of training. He's down at the performance center and stuff like that. But I just think it's too soon. I don't know how good he's going to be by then.
Yeah, it's not very long. It's 6 months. I think he's still doing wrestling training at the moment as well for college. So maybe too soon. But you know, Kurt Angle picked it up very quickly. He's got all the mat moves sorted.
They're going to focus on the technical side of things, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And Angle was great when he came out. So hopefully Gable's got the same kind of personality and kind of.
Did you see him when they introduced him when he came out that time? He was like, he couldn't even look at the crowd properly. He was like, hello. It was weird. It was very weird. Time
will tell. I think that will be, the technical side he's got down pat. I think there'll be a lot of promo work happening.
Yeah.
Now we move on to two Aussie girls. Formerly known as the Iconics, now the Inspiration, Double Eyes. They've joined Impact, and they're going to take on Decay for the Knockouts Tag Team Championships at Bound for Glory. So their debut is going to be at a pay-per-view for some titles.
Yeah, that's fair. They've done enough, I guess. They've been champs before. They deserve it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Good to see Aussie girls make good. And we've got quite a bit of Aussie news going on. Do you have something on Buddy Murphy?
Buddy Murphy, yeah, he's signed with New Japan, so that'll be good to see. Hopefully he goes well over there because he's got some good talent, I think. Buddy.
Yeah, Buddy definitely has got some great talent. You know, I think a lot of people thought he would end up at Impact or AEW, but just didn't end up happening. But New Japan's a great spot for him. Hey, you get to live in Japan, make a lot of good money.
Hey, plenty of people have done it. They've all made good money over there. So
that's right.
The way to go.
That's right.
What about speaking of Australian women with championships? Rhea Ripley. What's going on there? Poor
old Rhea. She lost or had her bag stolen in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Albuquerque. So it included the title belt that she had for the women's tag team championships. Now, not the real title belt. They WWE give wrestlers replicas, but you know they're proper replicas. They're
pretty expensive titles.
It's for them to take pictures with, carry around, and whatnot. And they keep the real ones for TV. So still a pretty big loss there.
Yeah.
And she lost all her ring gear too, and had a house show in Texas. So what did she do, Benny?
She stole she didn't steal them. She borrowed Damian Priest's pants to do the live event. It's good to see them keeping up and having a bit of fun with each other.
It's funny though, if you see pictures from it,
friends.
Yeah, if you see pictures from it, you would not know that they're Damian Priest pants. I mean, they got the same kind of vibe, same kind of feel, so it kind of worked.
I was going to say Damian Priest pants would work for her, I guess. That kind of works.
Yeah, so that worked pretty good. What else we got happening? We've got, speaking of women, Paige teasing another return on the socials. She put pictures of her boots and the Divas Championship up on the wall and a little bit of a thinking emoji.
Little thinking. Is she coming back? Can she get clearance? It'll be interesting to see, hopefully.
Now, will be. Hey, Brian Danielson, he's done it. Edge has done it. So
Edge, yeah.
Why not Paige? Why not Paige? Now, sticking with WWE, we had a title change hands on NXT.
Yeah, Swerve Isaiah lost his title to good old Carmelo Hayes, cashed in his title shot from the new NXT Breakout tournament. So that was good to see.
Yeah, it was good to see. And now, kind of not surprising that
Swerve's going up. So
Swerve lost as he's going up. But yeah, good for Carmelo Hayes. He is legitimately a breakout star of NXT. So
he looks good. He does look good.
He looks incredible. Speaking of Hit Row, we have Top Dollar from Hit Row dropped a diss track on
the Young Bucks.
On possibly the Young Bucks, possibly the Young Bucks. Talking about their sneaker game, saying that their sneaker game's all for show, all for TV. They're not real sneakerheads. So, yeah, interesting. Them fighting words. And speaking of, another segue, got lots of segues going here. AEW and WWE going head to head. They finally did go head to head in the ratings.
Yeah.
We had a supersized Smackdown, which went for a half hour longer than usual, crossed over with Rampage. And good to see for those of us who like AEW. Competition makes it better for everyone, I think. But AEW kept up with WWE and even beat them in a few key demographics, like males 18 to 49, which is us.
That's us.
And people age 18 to 34, which is not us.
We're still up. Oh, no, it's not us. Damn.
No, we're close, but
we're old, man. We're old.
But yeah, AEW keeping up.
I think it's good. I think obviously Smackdown being a bit smart smart, or I don't know what the right word is, but pushing it for that extra half an hour. And I just think there's too much. It's hard for us to watch everything. That's the issue. Like, especially over here, like we're fans. We want to watch it all. We want to talk about it all. We want to see it all. So we don't care. We're not a fan of one or the other. We just love it all.
Yeah.
So stop putting them head to head. Just let it all happen. Why does it have to go head to head?
Please keep them all on different days. We're begging.
Exactly. We're spoiled for choice at the moment. So just spread it out. Different days. We're happy.
We are very spoiled for choice. Now, Bray Wyatt. No news has come up yet as to where he's going, but his non-compete will end on October 29, which is in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
He's been throwing a few little tidbits out on the socials saying that he'll feed his baby birds soon. And there were rumors going around that he was too heavy, and that's why WWE wasn't a fan of him at the time. He posted a picture of him as the Fiend, saying looking lean, fiendy. So he obviously, maybe there's some truth to it then.
Hey, look, lockdown. We've all put on a couple of kilos, mate.
Yeah.
So I mean, he did reply to a tweet. Somebody wrote a tweet to Danhausen of Ring of Honor saying that they should have a match together, and he wrote back, "We should unite instead. How very evil of us." So maybe a little thing going on there with Ring of Honor. So see how that goes.
There you go. And speaking of, geez, there's segues aplenty here.
Keep it
segues
going.
aplenty. We've got Braun Strowman, formerly of WWE fame, has been spotted having a meeting with Scott D'Amore from Impact.
Yeah, he's obviously putting his feelers out there.
Yeah,
he's got to go. Like anybody will sign him, I guess, if he wanted to. He's just gonna. I think he's gonna play the pool for a little bit and get what he can.
Yeah, he's going to be a huge signing wherever he goes.
Yeah.
We've got Sasha Banks had an interview with the New York Post. They asked her why she didn't wrestle at SummerSlam, and kind of came off, I don't want to say the word snarky. That's probably not it, but she wasn't impressed with the question. And she said they'll have to wait for the book or the documentary to find out. They're not the WWE network. They're not getting her views.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a Vince thing telling her what to do or not, but she seems very heelish. It's very weird. There's something going on there. I don't know.
Yeah. And keeping it with women on the WWE roster, Paul Heyman has hinted that Naomi may already be a member of the Bloodline. That just because it hasn't been seen on TV doesn't mean she's not already at the table.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see where they go with this. We've been speculating this for quite a long time.
Yeah. So
it does make sense, but I mean, who knows?
I mean, it will be perfect, right? She's feuding with Sonya Deville, who is the head of SmackDown and Raw.
Yeah.
And the Bloodline often doesn't get along with the head of SmackDown. So it would fit really well for her to kind of join with them. But
also, does Paul Heyman still have a seat at the table after this week? Ooh,
we will find out.
We'll touch on that later.
We will find out. Just quickly, last bit of female WWE news. Lacey Evans has given birth to her second child. There was
Ric Flair's a dad again?
Of course, she left WWE, and it seemed like she was trying to get out of her match by being pregnant. But yeah, she's had her second child, a home birth. Interesting.
Power to her.
Now we'll move on to AEW news because there's plenty going on in AEW.
There is.
Now they've just signed former MLW, GCW, and Ring of Honor wrestler Lee Moriarty, who's a bit of a big name on the indies. And he had his first match on AEW not too long ago. So it's a good signing for AEW.
Yeah, definitely great signing.
We've also got AEW has announced a world title eliminated tournament, and the finals are going to be at Full Gear. So the bracket is we've got John Moxley against Preston Vance, Orange Cassidy against Powerhouse Hobbs, Dustin Rhodes versus Bryan Danielson, and Lance Archer versus Eddie Kingston. What does this scream out to you, Benny?
Mate, we all know where it's going. It's a lock-in for the final matchup of Bryan Danielson versus Moxley. Don't you agree?
Surely. That'll be an absolute classic, Moxley and Danielson.
My only thing is possibly Cassidy could get the win over Moxley, but I think if they want to give him a push, something stupid could happen, a bit of a schmoz or something like that. But what a match that would be, Moxley versus Danielson.
Yeah, that's the pay-per-view match, right? I mean, I am looking here. You could have John Moxley against Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, you could. I don't think it'd happen, but I mean, it could.
Yeah, there you go. But look, as for AEW, there's been plenty happening. Now, Rampage aired before Dynamite last week. They had a special Saturday night Dynamite. The first match on Rampage was an absolute classic. Yeah. Now, if another one of those, if you haven't watched it, do yourself a favor. Bryan Danielson, Minoru Suzuki in this brutal Japanese strong styles type fight. Yeah. They just beat the absolute bejesus out of each other. Danielson ended up getting the pin in the middle of the ring in the end, but it was just some of those shots. I was like, how is he not knocked out?
Well, one word we use on this pod quite often is brutal, and that was pretty brutal.
Yeah, there was just this forearm by Suzuki straight into the head of Danielson, and he didn't give much.
Just with all of Danielson's issues in the past as well, though, you just instantly say, "Oh, what are you doing?" Like,
yeah.
But I think that also ties in with them two in the final as well, because they've both fought Suzuki recently.
That's
so,
true.
That could be something else that they could go down that line.
That is true. Now we had CM Punk. He remains undefeated after beating Matt Sydal. They're just going to keep piling these wins on CM Punk against these mid-carders. You know, when are we going to see something?
I don't know. I think he's got to get the ring rust out. He probably already has, but I mean, they'll feed him a couple more, I think.
Yeah, I think it'll be going for a while. Now, Junior Dos Santos made his in-ring pro wrestling debut in a 6-man tag match with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky against the Inner Circle. What do you think of Dos Santos's in-ring debut?
You know what I think. We've spoken about this. It's terrible. He looked terrible. He like those elbows that he was throwing. I was like, they should have just done like Brock versus RKO at SummerSlam that time and just let him throw them. You know what I mean? Like, just go hard and just let it happen. And I think like the Inner Circle guys would have been in for that. You know what I mean?
Jericho would have. He likes.
Jericho loves that. He loves it. Yeah. It just didn't look right. It's disappointing. That was really a letdown for me. But I mean, hey, look, he's green. You know, like fingers crossed, something can come out of it. Whether it's a one-off, whether he's going to keep going or not. But yeah, it was tough for me to watch.
I mean, I am enjoying this whole American top team with all the MMA fighters kind of getting into it. I mean, the match was finished. Jorge Masvidal did a running knee on Jericho while the ref was being distracted by Paige Van Sant. You know, who thought we'd say that about wrestling?
Yeah.
Paige Van Sant distracting a referee, Jorge Masvidal giving a knee.
Jericho absolutely gave it to Paige Van Sant as well in a promo the other day. So that was like, he did not hold anything back. So, I mean, there's a good story there. It's just a matter of how they work it.
There is, and they're going to keep this going. I'm sure we're going to see Masvidal in a match at some point.
Yeah, well, it's just they reckon he's going to go back to the UFC. So I mean, where's that going to work? Whether Dana's going to let him happen or not? But yeah.
As you mentioned, Scorpio Sky got the pin after Masvidal hit the knee on Jericho. American Top Team continued to beat on Jericho until Santana and Ortiz made the save. So, you know, that whole Inner Circle American Top Team Men of the Year thing's going to keep going on for a little while, I think. We then moved on to a special Saturday Dynamite, which had a great match of Dante Martin against Malachi Black, which I like Dante. He's great fun to watch. I think he needs work in the charisma department.
Yeah, there's not much there.
Certainly in ring, he's incredible, and even got a bit of a nod of approval from Malachi Black after the match. So,
which is surprising from Black because that doesn't really happen very often. So
that's right. Now, what happened with one of your favorite tag teams, Benny?
Favorite tag? Well, let's just talk about my recently drafted boys, FTR. They came across as Las Superanas, which you're fluent in Spanish still. What does it translate to?
That is Super Frogs in Spanish.
Super Frogs. Yeah, they beat the Lucha Brothers for the AAA Tag Team Championship after Dax hit Phoenix with one of the belts while the ref was distracted by our good old mate Tully.
Yeah.
And they got the win. So
those
FTR.
green luchador outfits were so bad.
And what I was saying, it reminded me exactly of the old gimmick Los Conquistadors by Edge and Christian with the concerto. Just in those gold suits, those bright gold suits.
The gold suits, just absolutely terrible looking luchador outfits. I love it. So yes, wow. Las Superanas. AAA Tag Team Champions. Interesting. We then had Hangman Page. He came out. He delivered a great promo ahead of his match at Full Gear with Kenny Omega. So that's going to be a fun one. And then surprisingly, Bryan Danielson backed it up.
Backing up.
You know, he had the brutal match for Suzuki, and then he took on Bobby Fish, who, you know, he's pretty snug sometimes himself. And he did manage to get the win and remain undefeated. So
yeah, he's still undefeated, which is good to see. I guess they need to keep pushing that. How much
I
money they cost him and stuff like that. They need to push that a little bit.
Are you enjoying the whole undefeated, your win-loss record in AEW?
It's different. It's something different, which I don't mind. It reminds me of the old Mayhem game on WCW Mayhem, where you had to get win-loss records and stuff like that. So just to be able to progress in the game and stuff. So I guess that's all right. Something different.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like to be able to see, and they kind of keep it with this is their record this year. You know, they're not keeping it too far in the past because otherwise, you know, it kind of gets lost in the weeds if it's, you know, a 5-year record or something.
Yeah, exactly right.
Well, that was what is happening in AEW. Plenty going on.
Just one other thing. I don't know if you've seen it. Booker T calling out Tony Khan.
Wow, no, I did not see that.
Yeah, so this is the quote he said. I've only read the headline quickly. I haven't gone into the article. I just seen it recently. But he's like, I think that Tony Khan is acting like a little schoolgirl and he doesn't sound like a boss after the way he's been talking about WWE. So Booker standing up for WWE, which I'm surprised with, really. I know he still works for them, but you'd think Booker would have jumped ship a long time ago to AEW.
Well, I mean, Tony Khan's had a bit to say. You know, he said that there was an episode of Raw that was terrible and, you know, we're competing with them here, we're competing with them there. But
yeah,
I don't think he said anything that bad about it. Eric Bischoff came out and kind of said the same thing as Booker T as well. So
just shut your mouth, I think Bischoff said, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, Tony Khan's getting himself out there and all the dirt sheets are eating it up. So
yeah, it's working. We've talked about it as well before in the past that I've always said Tony Khan, it's like a little rich kid who's just got all this money and just wants to build his own little competition and playing with his toys and stuff like that. And I think that's a couple of old school wrestlers are looking at it the same way.
Yeah, he's playing general manager mode in
Smackdown versus Raw general versus Raw. That's what it is. And just quickly, another quick interesting stat that I've seen. I don't know how legit it is, so don't quote me on this. But match finishes so far in 2021 relating to DQ, no contest, double DQ, or double KO finishes. AEW's had 2. WWE has had 73.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean...
Different styles.
Very
right?
Very different.
Different styles. I think it kind of makes you feel like WWE are very much going with this is about storyline.
Yeah.
Right? And yeah, AEW want the numbers.
And speaking of numbers, they're also going to go head to head at the New York Islanders' new arena, UBS Arena. So Raw's there on the 29th of November. AEW's debuting there on the 9th of December. Apparently AEW sold out, but Raw have slashed their tickets in half to try and sell out. So I feel like Raw, or WWE would have a bigger crowd anyway. So, I mean, maybe they're just trying to do that. And AEW would have sold less tickets to definitely sell out. But, I mean, it still doesn't look good when you're selling them for half price. And yeah.
I have heard that Raw has been struggling with selling tickets. And they had, I think Roman Reigns was on a Raw show recently, specifically just to sell tickets. Boost the ratings and sell tickets. So, I mean, once with the roster shake up, it's going to make things a little bit fresher. So they probably won't have a problem with it. And I'm sure Raw will have some good storylines going forward. So.
Yeah, definitely. After the shake up, we'll be good.
So,
speaking of which, though, let's do it. Let's get onto the card.
Let's move on to this huge crown jewel card. We'll start off with Mansoor and Mustafa Ali in a singles match. Now, this will be the first ever singles match between 2 Muslim competitors on a WWE pay-per-view, which is pretty special for those guys.
Yeah.
Ali, he's turned on Mansoor after seemingly months of trying to teach him that he needs to be a heel to make it in wrestling, really. And Mansoor just can't help but be a classic babyface. So
white hot babyface.
White hot babyface. Now, Mansoor is paying $1.05 and Ali is $8.50.
Gamble responsibly. You know what? I'm going to shake it up. I'm going to say Ali just straight off the bat. I'm going to $8.50. I'm going to $8.50. I'm doing it. I know you're all over Mansoor. I'm going to Ali.
I am on Mansoor. That's a special. Like, he's from Saudi Arabia.
Here it is. It's better the day, folks. Better the day. Gamble responsibly. Dylan is on Mansoor. $1.05.
He's from Saudi Arabia. He's undefeated at Saudi events. It's going to pop the crowd big time. It's a win for Mansoor for me.
You're right. Yeah, I know you're right, but I just like to, I'm the heel.
We got to be contrarian, right? Got to make it interesting. I've got a couple of contrarian ones coming up. It's fine. Now we then move on to the Queen's Crown tournament final. Say that 10 times fast. Doudrop and Zelina Vega. Now this women's tournament did not get much love. I don't think any of the matches went over 3 minutes.
No, nobody liked that. There was big issues with that.
And I definitely didn't expect to see these two in the final.
Nobody did. Nobody.
Doudrop beat Natalya and Shayna Baszler to make it to the final after it seemed Baszler was getting a huge push. So that was interesting. Vega's another surprise. She hasn't been able to buy a win since she returned, but she's beaten Toni Storm and Carmella to make the final.
Yeah, what's going on there? Toni Storm versus Carmella would have been a better final. Just doesn't make sense to me. Doudrop's $1.55, Vega $2.30.
Yeah, that's I think that's generous. I think Doudrop should be the $1.05 that Mansoor is. I mean,
wow.
Like, look, just
you don't want the underdog Vega to win?
Just looking at the optics of it, right? Vega is tiny, right?
She's tiny.
And Doudrop should crush her. Yeah. She's been getting the push already. It's going to elevate her even further. I don't see the point of putting the crown on Vega.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll say, all right, I'll go the roughie again. I'm going Vega.
You can see that, can you?
No, I can't, but I got to do something here. I can't agree with you all the time. We agree too often on here. I've got to mix it up. Next match is the King of the Ring tournament final. Now, my boy, Xavier Woods, he's been wishing it into existence for how long?
He's been campaigning for the return of King of the Ring for quite some time.
Yeah, so they've got to give it to him, don't they?
So he beat Ricochet and Jinder Mahal, standing his ways, Finn Balor, fresh off a Universal title match, who beat Cesaro and Sami Zayn. Woods $1.67, Balor $2. So you're backing Woods?
Yeah, 100%. Balor, forever the Prince. Prince Devitt, he's going to stay the Prince. We're going to go King Woods. Over, lock it in, $1.67, Ben's best bet of the day.
Do you know what? I had Balor down originally, right?
Until I said that.
And then I thought about it. Balor doesn't need it.
It doesn't need it. It's a waste.
He was just in the main event for the Universal title. He doesn't need it. Whereas this, for Woods' career, this could be huge. And
so this is the other thing for me. This is Vince's way of not having to put the title on the third New Day member. So he's already put it on 2. He doesn't have to put it on Woods now. He can say, you're King of the Ring. You never have to be a champion now.
I mean, Woods has really taken one for the team in a sense. He's taken a backseat to Kofi, a backseat to E for so long. So, maybe this is his reward. So I'm with you on that one. I think Woods.
Yes, good answer.
We then move on to the Raw Tag Team Championship. RK Bro against AJ Styles and Omos. Is this feud over yet?
Please.
These two teams have been going at it for a while, ever since RK Bro beat them at SummerSlam. RK Bro $1.07, AJ and Omos $6.50.
Put the house on it, $1.07, RK Bro. I'm sick of this. AJ and Omos need to break up. AJ needs to get back into some sort of title frame. It's annoying me.
Yeah,
Omos needs to go back to the Performance Center, man. He needs to learn how to sell. It's a punish to watch. Yeah, I'm done with him.
It is. Yeah, look, I don't think we're going to see the titles flip-flop back to AJ and Omos. It was a nice little run. Great. He's a huge dude, but it's time for some new challenges. Once the new rosters come into play, hopefully we'll see that. So I'm on RK Bro as well, the $1.07.
Agreed.
We then move on to the Hell in a Cell match, Edge and Seth Rollins. Now, this is the rubber match. The rubber match. Edge beat Rollins at SummerSlam. Rollins beat Edge on SmackDown and tried to end his career with a stomp. Rollins is determined to end Edge, broke into his house to challenge him. Edge accepted, saying that it'll be inside Hell in a Cell. We've got Edge at $1.12, Rollins at $4.50.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a cracker. Going to be a cracker.
It's going to be it's going to be match of the night, I think.
Brutal, our favorite word on this pod. Brutal for sure. I'm going to go with Rollins. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm going to go with Rollins. I'm going to say Rollins. Did you see he came out this week and he posted a picture of the last 3 Hell in a Cell matches he's had, and he's like, take note of this. 2 out of the last 3 are no longer in the company.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Moxley and Wyatt.
Yeah. So, it's fair. I think Edge should win, but it doesn't hurt either one to lose. It doesn't hurt either one to win. It's going to be a classic match. Should be match of the night.
This was going to be my upset pick. So yeah, I'm on Rollins. I feel there's some shenanigans coming. I think Rollins is going to have something up his sleeve. I think a win for Rollins does more for him going into Raw. He'll be there week to week. Edge probably won't be there week to week. They can keep the feud going for a while as well. So Rollins is my pick for that one.
Yeah. Next match, no holds barred.
Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley in a match where Goldberg has threatened to murder Bobby Lashley.
He wants the body on his record.
Wow.
So apparently his son's going to be there as well. So that'll be interesting to see how that ties in.
So, I mean, this came, the two faced at SummerSlam. Lashley and MVP damaged Goldberg's leg enough that the ref had to end the match. Obviously, his son Gage ran in, entered the fray, got himself put in a hurt lock. And Goldberg, said he wants to kill Lashley. Now I've got Goldberg $1.20 and Lashley $4. There is no odds for actually if Goldberg does murder him.
Goldberg will win. They love him over there. They love it's our annual Goldberg botch fest.
Yeah,
you know, going to Saudi Arabia. Let's have some fun with Goldberg botching everything.
Yeah,
he'll probably actually maim Lashley, not deliberately,
accidentally.
But not deliberately, but he'll probably maim him because that's just what he does. So I mean, Goldberg wins for me.
Yeah, I think he wins. I mean, this feud can't really be over until Goldberg gets the win.
And he doesn't have any more matches left in WWE contract.
Got no more matches on his contract, so he'll be done for a time. So, I mean, ordinarily people would put someone over if they were going away for a while, but I don't think this fits that bill. I think Goldberg gets the win.
Yeah, I agree.
We then move on to the SmackDown Women's Championship triple threat match. Becky Lynch, Bianca Belaire, and Sasha Banks. Now, there's an intricate history with these three, but most recently, obviously, Lynch took Banks' place in the title match at SummerSlam, beat Belaire in 26 seconds. The boss ended up making her return at Extreme Rules to leave both Lynch and Belaire lying. We have Lynch at $157, Banks at $3, Belaire at $5.50.
Oh, this is a tough one. I think anybody can win it.
Me too. This was probably the toughest pick of the night, I think.
I'm gonna roll the dice. Banks
got that $3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Lynch. I'm wondering. I don't know if there are any reports that she was going, but does Charlotte make some sort of, entrance into the match? Something.
Or do they just put both titles on the line and make it a four-way? And then, as we talked about last week, first winner gets one, second winner gets the other.
I would love that. If they made it a fatal four-way for both titles.
That'd be a cracker.
That would be brilliant. Jeez, I might write that for my draft later on in the evening. I
thought it was one-on-one matches.
It is one-on-one.
Thank you. Yeah. Just for those.
We move on then to the WWE Championship. We've got Big E and Drew McIntyre. Obviously, a little while ago, McIntyre lost a match to Lashley, so he could no longer wrestle for the title. Once Lashley lost the belt to Big E, it was back in his sights again. The two have been kind of on the same-ish page for the last few weeks, but McIntyre wants to claim back what he feels is his. Now, he's going to have a mountain to climb because he's paying $6.50 to win it. Big E, $1.07.
Depends if he brings out that sword. It's a whole different story. But Big E at Winks odds here. I think Big E has to keep the title. He's just too prominent in everything that's going on. Drew's had his run. It doesn't mean he won't have another run, but it's not going to happen in Saudi Arabia. It's not going to happen at this pay-per-view. He's gone to SmackDown anyway. It's just...
That's right. He's off to SmackDown. Right. They've already planted the seeds of a feud with Roman. Hard to see Big E losing that one.
Yeah, completely agree.
Last up, we have the Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Beast returned at the end of SummerSlam, challenged Reigns for the title. The X Factor here. Where will Paul Heyman's allegiance lie?
He did have that little comment. He goes, I will go to the ring with the reigning undisputed, Universal Champion of the world, and I will be leaving with the reigning undisputed Universal Champion of the world. But he didn't name anybody. He did not name anybody.
So does that mean he's just going to side with the winner?
Yeah, probably. Brock did do that little good thing though last week when he was like, "Oh, don't worry, I've already spoken to my advocate Paul Heyman, about the contract and stuff." So that was a good little thing, good little seed.
We have Reigns at $1.20, Lesnar at $4.
Where's your money?
My money's on the $1.20. I do think Lesnar will get the title off Reigns at some point, but not just yet. In saying that, I said the same thing about Cesaro, and look where he is. But this feud's reportedly going to go the distance, going to go for a little while longer. I think Reigns has got to hold the title for longer. He'll need that title to feud with McIntyre. So if they're holding off Brock Lesnar till WrestleMania, then that's how I see it going.
Yeah, I agree. I think Reigns holds the title. Something will happen. There'll be a bit of a schmoz somewhere, and Lesnar will get screwed over, and Reigns will keep the title.
Yeah. So there you go. There you have it. Crown Jewel on very early in the morning over here. It's
Friday morning, Saturday morning.
Friday morning. So yeah. if you're keen, 3 a.m. I believe it starts. I don't know if I'll be watching that one live.
I'm working late Thursday night, so it'll roll straight in for me.
Oh, there you go. Perfect for you. Yeah, as you finish, crack a beer and get into Mansoor and Mustafa Ali. It's now time for the fun part of the podcast.
The tough part. This is the hard. I've been stressed over this bit.
Not that the rest hasn't been fun, but this is fun. We're onto the 3-count draft. Now, we all know the Saudi Arabia shows are about big money and getting some big name acts. With that in mind, for our draft, we're going to be tasked with drafting a 5-match card for a huge WWE Saudi Arabia show, as if money is no object and retirements don't matter. Now, we did come up with a few ground rules. Boo to ground rules. We are drafting as if the show is this year. So anyone you draft will be competing as if they're competing this year. For example, if you'd like to take Ric Flair, you're more than welcome to him. You are drafting a 72-year-old Ric Flair to compete. Now, we can only draft one-on-one matches and tag team matches, though we can draft gimmick matches. Once someone is drafted to a match, they're no longer able to be drafted by the other person. Wrestlers who've retired due to injury and could not compete today are unable to be drafted.
Dylan threw that one in the last second. I missed that rule. I've just read that rule now. That screwed me a little bit, guys, just so you know. So I might have to scramble here, but okay, keep going.
He's a liar. I told him. AEW contracted wrestlers are also off limits. Now, Benny, you have the first pick.
Woo! Finally.
Who are you taking as your main event? I guess it would be.
It's my main event, and I've got a little audio here to help me with this one. My first person coming out to the ring will be. Do you smell what the Rock is cooking? We've got The Rock versus Brock Lesnar in the main event.
Rock v. Brock.
It's just in a straight singles match. Boom. That is headline.
I did not see that coming.
Boom. The Rock versus Brock.
Okay. All right. Well, that eliminates all my Rock matches that I'd set. And all my Brock matches that I'd set. All right. I am then going to go. You want to go Hollywood? I'm going to go Hollywood for you.
Hogan?
No, not Hogan.
Cena.
2 of the biggest names in Hollywood right now. We're going to see Cena against Batista.
Yeah, nice match. I'm in front already, but that's all right. That's okay. This next match, they're both on the current rosters. I just want to see these two have a match. I think it'll be a brilliant match. I'm going to go Edge versus Finn Balor.
Edge and Balor. Okay, let's write that down. How do you see that one going?
I think Edge gets over, but it'll be like a 45-minute just technical and amazing match.
All right. Okay. Well, it's time. I'm gonna bring out some of the old boys.
Oh,
maybe a little bit of this.
Oh, do you want to use them though? I thought about it.
I am, and this is going to be. This isn't going to be a classic. All right. This is purely for the marks out there who want to see this. We're going to have DX against the Dudley Boys.
Oh, that's fine. But is Triple H not still in hospital? This is where the whole injury could not compete today came in. That's why I didn't pick Triple H. You can have him.
Okay.
From his hospital bed, you can have him. No worries.
Sorry, before I finish, before I finish, that's going to be a tables match too, by the way.
Oh, is Mae Young going to go through one or?
Maybe. We'll see.
My next match is actually a match that we've already seen and we've spoken about on this pod before as one of my favorite matches between these two tag teams. It's going to be a Hell in a Cell match between the New Day and the Usos.
Wow.
We've seen it before, but these two can elevate it again. And I've watched that match probably 30 times. I love that match. It's great.
That is an absolute classic. All right. Jeez, this is getting tough now. All right. I'm gonna book now. I'm gonna book my women in.
Oh, don't steal it.
I'm gonna book my women in now. Originally, I will tell you, I was gonna book in a tag team match, which was gonna take away a lot of great women. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna pivot.
Can I guess?
You can.
It's gonna be Trish and Lita. Trish and Lita versus somebody?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pivot and I'm going to have Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch in a submission match.
Oh. Okay. That hurts. Well, I'm going to save my women now because I don't know who I'm going to pick out of those now. Maybe I just go with it then, because I also had down the tag team match between the women, and it was also.
Well, you can take it's there for you now.
Trish and Lita versus Charlotte and Sasha. So I think that's old school, new school. You did steal Becky. I was going to use Becky in there, but I've pivoted to Charlotte instead.
As was I when I originally had that match. All right. Where are we at now? All right. I've got my last match set. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to leave that for now. I don't really have that many left, to be honest. Geez. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going. So I need to ask you a question though. When you say New Day, does that include Big E?
Oh.
Was he in that Hell in a Cell match you mentioned?
Well, I personally was thinking Kofi and Woods.
Okay, good. Well, we'll run with that. Now, I'm going to go Big E versus Roman Reigns.
Ooh.
And this is going to be to become the undisputed champion.
Wow, there you go. All right, my last match. Also two current stars still. Two of my favorites. So I just want to see them fight. We're going to go with my lookalike KO versus RKO in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Falls Count Anywhere.
Yeah. So they could end up in the desert for all we know. But anything could happen.
All right. Okay. I've got my last match. Now, I don't know how good this match is going to be, but it's going to be fun to see how it plays out. We're going to have Gable Stevenson.
What?
Taking on Kurt Angle.
It's true. It's damn true.
In a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Fair enough. What are the falls?
No, it's just like the best
just
2 out of 3.
match.
Best 2 out of 3.
No stipulations. No stipulations.
No stipulations. 2 out of 3.
No stipulations. But how did you say that again?
No stipulations.
It's been a long
stipulations, y'all. Wow. Okay. So there we go.
I'm pretty happy about that. I wrote down 5 matches and I got all 5 I wanted. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Very nice. Benny's card. He's got Rock v. Brock.
Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Old SummerSlam match that we've seen. I've got Edge and Balor, New Days and the Usos in Hell in a Cell. I've got Trish and Lita against Sasha and Charlotte, and Kevin Owens against Randy Orton in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Now I have the Battle of the Hollywood Megastars, Batista and Cena. Batista versus Cena is my main event. We've got
nobody will be able to
DX
see one of the people in a match, so it doesn't matter. Yeah.
We've got DX and the Dudley Boys in a tables match. We've got Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch in a submission match. We've got Big E and Roman Reigns to find out the undisputed WWE champion. Then we've got Gable Stevenson and Kurt Angle in a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Yeah.
Now, you didn't have any other matches down, Benny?
No, 5 matches, mate. 5 matches. There it is on a post-it.
Wow.
Bang.
I
was that confident.
I had so many here. I had a lot of like Undertaker options. But yeah, I just kind of thought we've seen it.
I thought that's the reason I didn't introduce them. Like, think about it, and that's the reason I didn't use DX as well. Like, I sort of stayed with current wrestlers and just threw The Rock in there as well. A bit of fun. And then
I really wanted to do a triple threat Hell in a Cell between Triple H, Batista, and Randy Orton, but
Evolution. Special guest referee Ric Flair.
Due to the rules, I couldn't do that. I had a few Batista Orton, no holds barred, Batista Edge.
So we both had RKO in a no holds barred match. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's true. I had a lot of Triple H matches. Cena Triple H, Reigns Triple H, Undertaker Triple H, Triple H and Shane in a ladder match.
I thought about Shane McMahon. I did have Shane McMahon on the other side of the post-it note, but I left him out.
I didn't know about Bray Wyatt. I thought Bray Wyatt v Edge match could be fun, but I kind of left that. If you didn't take Brock, I was going to put him in the ring with Lashley. Something many of us have been hoping to see.
Well, I think my theory behind Edge versus Finn Balor as well was that Edge was going to come out with the Brood entrance again, and it was going to be Demon Balor. So
yeah, nice.
So I forgot to mention that, but yeah, that was kind of my thought.
Well, I'll make it Demon Balor when we put it up on the social.
Demon Balor and Brood Edge, just because the crowd will pop. They want that Brood entrance and stuff like that. We just got it, so we know we can do it again.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. So there you go. That was fun. I'm glad you got your 5 matches. Still think my card's better, but we'll see what the socials.
You always think that.
We'll see what the socials. The socials were very split on our last.
They were
last draft.
Interesting.
So it means we've done a good job, right?
Your beautiful wife, she sided with me, so we all love that. Thank you very much.
The BWF, hey,
BWF. All about the BWF. Also, if you haven't watched it, guys, Heels. Watch Heels.
Go and check
amazing.
Check out.
It does get a little bit in the middle of the season. It's a little bit tough to watch, but I mean, it finished with a bang. Go and watch that. That's amazing.
Yeah. Probably the second last episode was my favorite, but yeah, great stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Definitely.
Well, that's all we've got time for you here on the 3 Count podcast this week. We'll post our draft up onto the socials and you can let us know what you think. Make sure you tune in next week. We're going to have a huge show. We're going to look at what happened at Crown Jewel and how the first night went for the new rosters on Smackdown and Raw.
Yeah.
We've got NXT, Halloween Havoc, all the happenings in AEW as we move towards Full Gear. There's plenty happening. So if you've got any comments or suggestions, hit us up on the socials at 3 Count Pod on Twitter and Facebook, at 3 Count Podcast on Instagram, or email us 3countpod@outlook.com. Benny, thanks again for joining us.
Thanks, Dill. Just give a quick shout out to our long-term listener as well, Matty Jones. Just wanted to shout you out, buddy. Thank you for all your support. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Matty. Appreciate it. Now, everyone, go and enjoy Crown Jewel nice and early in the morning.